I'm Capt with Boat Test, and today I'm aboard the new 46 Coupe by Aquila. This is the flagship in their new Coupe range. Now this boat provides an elevated yacht-like feel in a sport boat. So no matter if you want to cruise the Bahamas, the Great Lakes, or the Great Loop, you can do so in comfort and efficiency on this boat. Come aboard and let's take a look at some of the features. Starting at the bow, this being a catamaran, of course, there's a lot of beam far forward, and that's going to give a lot of room for entertaining guests, as you can see with these seats. But we do want to mention there are 4 cleats on the bow. That's going to make it easy to tie up in multiple dock configurations. Now, you can see there's a lot of depth in here, so as you're running, granted this is a cat with a foil, it runs very smoothly, but if you are in some sketchy seas, everyone's going to be safely kept aboard. You can see there's a grab rail forward, and just under that grab rail, there's a table that can be lifted up and secured into place whenever it's needed. I really like this feature. I think it could see a lot of use. Maybe you're watching the sunset from the bow. Fantastic to have that there. And just under the seats on the sides, wireless induction chargers, fusion audio, speakers, a grab handle, and a cup holder. And we need to note all the way around, basically the entire compartment up here is padding so everyone can be comfortable. Now on these seats, the stitching is beautiful. The backrests are very comfortable and plush. You have flip down armrests, and just under the seat here, you have paddle latches where you can lift it to gain access to some storage just below. As I make my way aft into the cabin, just down below in the deck, there's a hatch that can be lifted up and there's storage underneath. There's also a door that's magnetically held back and then secures magnetically to close this off, and you can lower this door overhead, part of the windshield down, and it seals this completely. Immediately when entering into the cabin, there's a handrail on the port side and 1 step down. Also on the starboard, there are controls for the electric door that's overhead. Then both port and starboard, you have access to the cabins down below, which we'll get into in just a few minutes. And then on the starboard side, there's the helm. If you want more information on the helm station, be sure to check out our performance video, which is pretty interesting because this boat also has a foil between the holes, which make it incredibly efficient. The galley is located on the port side. You can also see the large windows that are letting in so much natural light and giving you visibility when you're operating the boat from the helm. The countertop space here, there's no shortage of that, of course. There's a 2-burner induction cooktop, fridge freezer combo, 3 drawers, a bit of storage, and dedicated storage for the trash can just behind me. The sink, which is nice and deep, I like seeing that, then a bit of storage overhead in the cabinetry. 2 of the features that can be easily missed. One is a Lazy Susan tucked into the corner. That's a good use of space. But then underneath the countertop, they have incorporated a grab rail that just seamlessly flows in there, and that's a good safety measure. Now, across on the starboard side is a Salon table. There's quite a bit of seating around the Salon table. There's 2 cup holders and a wireless induction charger on either end. There's also controls for the fusion audio system, air conditioning, and some light switches. And this table is actually a high-low table. So let's say you have additional guests on board, you want a little more walking around space, you can lower this and it goes flush with the sole. You'll notice that this is facing aft. Well, this entire glass enclosure can disappear. Let's take a look at that. There we go. So when the weather's nice, the whole space can be opened up to be enjoyed by everybody, whether you're in the cabin or on the cockpit. And you'll notice we snuck the TV down from the overhead. This would be a perfect spot to watch your favorite ball game on your 3 bar stools at the wet bar. And just behind me, there's a small compartment for your shore power hookups and a bit of storage in there, and controls for the electric sunshade that comes out of the hardtop. And just across on the starboard side, there's a Kenyon grill, and I like that this has its own dedicated cover. And something else that it will do, if you lift it up, this handle will flip down, and there's a light on the inside of here. Push a button, and it's going to illuminate what you're cooking. That's pretty neat. And then down below, there's another fridge freezer combo, as well as an additional working surface when you need it. Coming around, you'll also notice that there are steps. That's to assist you as you're coming up and coming around the cabin top. There's a decent amount of room here to walk by, and a grab handle all the way across the top. Also, you'll notice I have a grab handle here to help me getting up there, but there's also a rear-facing camera so you can monitor things back here when you're at the helm underway. There's also a side boarding door, and there's one on each side, both port and starboard. This is going to make coming on and off the boat at the dock easy no matter which side you pull up on. And there's also a safety gate at the transom to prevent anyone or anything from going overboard. Moving back aft in the cockpit, we can see where Aquila is taking full advantage of that 17-foot 11 beam. And they chose to run the 600 Mercuries on this boat, which is advantageous because the cowlings are not turning, which are going to take up some more real estate. So they're able to put in a very wide swim platform and not sacrifice with these loungers either. The backrests on these loungers are reversible, so if you want to face aft, you can do so. And underneath each of these is storage. It's not very deep, but you can see the owners have taken advantage and neatly stowed some hoses under here. I like seeing that. I really appreciate how much thought and effort Aquila has put into this swim ladder, because you have such large treads, plenty of places to grab onto. You're comfortable and you're safe when you're coming in and out of the water. Myself, I like coming in and out of the water quite a bit. This is a 2-cabin boat with a master being on the starboard side. Let's start in the port cabin. Entering, there are 4 steps on the way down with a handrail on my right side. As I turn to the left, there's a hanging closet with 3 drawers underneath, all complete with soft close slides. Continuing back into the head, there's a large shower with plenty of room to get in here and do what you need to do. Electric flush head, a whole side window to let in some natural light, and some cabinets overhead for storage, as well as a vessel sink and cabinets below. Moving forward toward the berth, over on the outboard side, there's a few light switches, controls for the AC unit in this room, and some shelving for some additional storage. Underneath the berth, there are 2 large and deep drawers that are going to soak up a lot of your gear and equipment. And forward, you can see the berth, and you have plenty of headroom overhead, hull side windows along the side. And I must say, the bed's fairly high, which I like because it lets you get a good view out of those windows. Let's go across to the starboard side and see the master. Both cabins can be closed up and locked for privacy. As I make my way down the steps, I'm going to take a right into the head. Now the first thing I'm going to notice in here is there is some more storage. There's a pretty large closet inboard and another cabinet just underneath. I have another stand-up shower fully enclosed, a bit of shelving in there, and overhead at the vanity, some more cabinet storage, another whole side window to allow some of that natural light in, electric flush toilet, vessel sink, and storage underneath the cabinet. And back into the cabin itself, I thought that side had a good view. Well, this berth setup is even better with this big whole side window. This berth is also elevated, but the way that it is positioned, when you wake up in the morning or in the evening, you're looking straight out of your whole side window at whatever beautiful anchorage you might find yourself in. Now, either side of the berth, there's induction chargers, USBs, and 110 outlets and reading lights. Along the headboard, you have some nice, elegant upholstery with some accent lighting above and also within the headboard. Now, you're going to have storage underneath this berth, pretty good sized drawer, and then 3 other drawers just outboard underneath this shelf that runs the entirety of the cabin. Well, I hope you enjoyed this full features walkthrough of Aquila's new 46 Coupe. I'm Captain with Boat Test, and remember, life is better on a boat.